He's got a root snare. You ready? Boom. Hello everyone, it's the Grey Goose, and today with our random Red Thursday deck tech, we ended up running with the colors of Naya. Now, I haven't played Naya colors in what seems like forever, so I figured with today being patch day and the big upheaval to the historic meta with the removal, the suspension of Once Upon a Time, Veil of Summer, Oko, Thief of Crowns, and Field of the Dead, and I just wanted to get back in there and see what it's like without that sort of degenerate stuff. And as you might have guessed from the background here, one of the cards that I've always wanted to play since Throne of Eldraine came out, but I haven't got to yet, is Outlaw's Merriment. This is a pretty sweet card. It's full of flavor. I don't know if you know this, but if you read the card, it spits out a random warrior, cleric, or rogue each turn at the beginning of your upkeep, and they all have haste. You have the warrior, which does the most damage, 3 damage, 3 power with trample. You have your cleric, who is a 2/1 with lifelink and haste, so heals you up a little bit. And then you have your rogue, which has the lowest power, 1, but the highest toughness, 2, and when it enters the battlefield, it gets to ping anything of your choice. So the warrior, the cleric, the rogue, it's actually a spin-off of the main archetypes, if you will, of Dungeons and Dragons. So, and as you can see, they're all just gathered around the fire, and they're having a joyful time back here. They're having a great party. But I figured we could make this into a Naya deck. So obviously I need to include some green cards, but there's some powerful synergy here in the deck. Let's see how it looks. Of course, we're running some Llanowar Elves. They're just great at giving you that speed bump to ramp up into whatever you need, and they're also a body on the on the ground, a 1/1. You have a Charming Prince in there, good for early game aggro as a body with heal. He's good for card fixing, whatever you need. The exile target creature and bounce back doesn't come into huge effect. It can be paired with another one of our creatures later on, which I'll talk about. Bone Crusher Giant, just the value that he gives for the red color. We had to include some of him with the stomp to ping down certain things. Damage can't be prevented, which comes into effect versus Nexus of Fate decks and the root snares. And a 4/3 body is just pretty good. Night of Autumn. Now on Night of Autumn probably is your best target for Charming Prince that I can see. Just when she comes down, she gets 3 powerful effects. Either 2 +1/+1 counters on her, gain 4 life, or destroy target artifact or enchantment. And so if you get a second activation of that from Charming Prince, that's pretty awesome. This card's good against aggro. This card's good against combo with certain artifacts or enchantments that they use. And it can be a beefy card if you need it to be, to put in some damage, do work. 4/3. Thrashing Bronodon. Once again, I think in general, Historic's still a very more aggro or mid-range, low mid-range field nowadays. So a 3/4 body for 3 is not bad. Plus being able to sacrifice himself for the chance that you need to get rid of a target artifact or enchantment is really valuable. We have some Beanstalk Giant. Beanstalk Giant's just good at helping you find that one particular color you need, or just ramp up. Plus he scales as the game goes long, so if you draw him really late, he doesn't feel super bad to draw into. Got some Realm Cloak Giant. This guy for 5 mana is a pretty good board wipe. Plus, if you draw him super late, he's a 7/7 vigilance, so pretty powerful as well. We have some Prison Realms, and these are great. For 3 CMC, you get to pick any creature, any planeswalker, and just shut them down. Plus, you get the Scry one. You know, he is technically subject to removal because it's an enchantment, but for 3 CMC, that's pretty awesome. We got some Lava Coils. For 2 CMC, it's one of the most strong removal cards you can get in Historic or Standard at this point. It deals 4 damage and it exiles the creature if it dies. One of the main targets that you might run into that this doesn't work on is a Danto Vanguard. But besides that, this thing is pretty clutch on pretty much every other creature that you might run into in Historic. Deafening Clarion, there's too much flexibility here to be able to deal 3 damage to each creature or to give your creatures lifelink. A lot of your loader ground stuff would obviously get killed, but if you have a Realm Cloak Giant out, Beanstalk Giant, Thrashing Bronodon, you can start getting a little bit of life there too if you need it in a clutch instant. Solar Blaze, this is for those occasional matches where you run into bigger creatures that you need to get rid of that Deafening Clarion can't quite kill. For 4 CMC, only needing 1 in a red and 2 generic, that's a pretty good deal. Most creatures you're going to run into will kill themselves with this card. They don't generally run higher toughness and lower power. We have some Escape to the Wild. So for 5 CMC, drawing 5 cards plus being able to ramp a little bit too, that's pretty powerful. And sometimes you can chain this into itself and just get insane amount of card draw and get all the answers you can need, provided you have the mana to cast what you need with that. The lands, there's a total of 25, running quite a few shock lands, quite a few check lands, and also 1 Castle Embereth and 1 Castle Ardenvale. The Embereth helps you push that just a little bit extra damage you might need from your smaller things in this deck. And the Ardenvale is good if you need to suddenly have a body on the board. In the sideboard, we have some Devout Decree. For 2 CMC, being able to exile a black or red creature or planeswalker is just too valuable not to have. Plus you can scry. Sorceress Spyglass. There's a lot of planeswalkers in Historic that get synergized into certain decks. Not to mention certain abilities, such as like if you see a Wicked Wolf, it could be shut down with Sorceress Spyglass, or a Witch's Oven. It's a pretty good utility card to have. I got another Knight of Autumn in the sideboard. She's just so flexible. Another Deafening Clarion in the sideboard. Some more Solar Blaze in the sideboard. Another Prison Realm in the sideboard. We have a Gideon Blackblade in the sideboard. He's pretty good when you need to try and start pumping in damage early. Like say you were going against a Nexus of Fate deck or something similar. You might put him down for 3 CMC, starting to try and do 4 damage every turn, plus giving a creature indestructible or vigilance or lifelink. It can be really worth it. Another Lava Coil in the sideboard. Another Bone Crush Giant in the sideboard. There's a Fire Artisan Chandra. She's just good, giving you that 1 extra card per turn, plus it does damage to your enemy if it gets attacked. And she has a pretty powerful ultimate if she's able to get up there. And then I have some Season of Growth. You're putting so many creatures down with this deck, and it does proc off of your Outlaw's Merriment. So you being able to scry all the time is really good. There's not too many spells that would target a creature you control, other than maybe like your Charming Prince, or even potentially you could stomp your own creature if you wanted to. All in all, this is a really fun deck, and I think with a little bit more tuning and tweaking, it could survive, especially with those 4 cards being suspended. I think Outlaw's Merriment Naya has a chance in Historic these days. And if you want to see a random daily deck tech each day, consider liking or subscribing to this channel, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so this hand's not going to work. This one will make work with the Scry probably from the Charming Prince. Outlaws I want to keep, but I can't. I have to ramp up. That's more important, and to have some answers at the beginning so I don't get overrun. So we're seeing some Simic looking colors. This might be a Nexus, which would be particularly scary in my opinion. We have some artifact and enchantment removal for the reclamations, but I don't have any right here. Yeah, kind of looking like something like a Nexus. Let's scry. That looks good. I don't think we need the Lana War though. Okay. So now if he reclamations, we can basically instantly get rid of it. Unless he has a counter. Which he might. So let's swing in first, see what he does. Alright, we're gonna try and ramp up here. What do we need? We got the whites. Ooh. Alright, so some kind of countery deck. Cameo, awesome.
Let us see
Nexus.
if your talents are worth cataloging. To the library.
Wilderness. He doesn't have it. Well, that's just a shame, isn't it? So let's scry. Nope. Don't need the elves. Getting him down a little bit more. I don't think typically they have some sort of bounce or enchantment removal. So Narset, he'll get one draw off of that, and that is it. Because I'll attack into him. Ascant is good, but he doesn't realize my Knight of Autumn's right here. Alright, so we get rid of that.
I must stay focused.
He has the Vantress now too, which is kind of scary. He can start scrying with extra land. If he puts down a Reclamation here, I just blew my load on with the Knight of Autumn. Okay, well, there's another. So, we have to start threatening lethal more or less. As much as I want to stomp, I think the... Oh, I don't even have a red, so never mind. I have no clue what I'm doing. So there's 2 root snares. That's half of his damage prevention gone. But without me having a red here, we're looking at trouble. And he flipped the Ascanta already, so now if he has Reclamation, it's GG, right? He's digging for it. He's probably got a Nexus. He has 7 mana just chilling here. There's our Nexus. So he gets to draw 1 more card. Nope. Now he has enough to Reclamation. There we go. And now he Reclamates. Does he have another Nexus? Does he have another Nexus? No, he doesn't. So next turn, if we don't get what we need, it's over. It's over. Alright, so we need to go harder on the enchantment and artifact removal here. So we're going to put in this Knight of Autumn. Sorcerer's Spyglass 2 is good. Narset and Cameo. Gideon is good early game aggro. Bone Crusher once again. And these guys have it so that damage can't be prevented this turn. So they're good against root snares. So what do we not need? Realm Cloak Giant, we do not need. Solar Blaze, we do not need. Deafening Clarion, no. Alright. I mean, Prison Realm instead of a Lava Coil, sure. Maybe Season of Growth there. I don't know. This deck, this Merriment deck, is not necessarily made to combat Nexus. Since they suspended all the other cards that you want to ban these days, Nexus is the only considered OP card left that everyone cried for a ban that didn't. That in like Teferi 5 and Teferi 3. But you still don't see control in Historic. Alright, so what do I want to do here? I want to start getting damage in, right? But this is tough call. Because he's our damage prevented guy, and this takes care of the... Alright, screw it. We don't exactly have early game massive aggro in this deck. Okay. So that gets rid of one early threat, but once again, he's just a turn away essentially from being able to play Reclamate. The out of lands, is that why I only see blue blue and no green yet? Blue blue blue. Okay. What's he gonna bounce it? Alright, whatever. So he's gonna bounce. Okay. We're just gonna start chipping in damage more and more. Much as we can, really. You can't block with the Brazen. Reclamate. Cool. So let's Sorceress right away. Let's see what we're dealing with. If he's got a counter, he'll use it on that. Alright, so he's got a root and a Nexus. We want to do it for Tamio still. The next turn, he's going to be able to Nexus. Root Snare, huh? Let's swing in first. Bone Crusher Giant. He has a Root Snare, so he can buy himself another turn for free unless I draw into the Stomp. I'm really surprised he used it on Sorceress Spyglass. Really surprised. Oh boy, here we go. So, I mean, he's gonna get to Nexus here, right? But unless he draws into like a Chemister's Insight, it's gonna be hard for him to get the chain going. I think he's gonna be able to flash in the Brazen here too, start chipping away at me. Yep. Okay. I have the Prison Realm. I'm not worried about him killing me with that in a turn or two, obviously. Plus it lets me scry it up, which I really need. So what's he got here? He's got 2 Reclamates, so it's all down to that last card. So he's got nothing. Alright, and we got Mr. Bronadano. Let's do it. Let's swing in first. Is he gonna Root Snare this? I'm really surprised. But okay. No. We're gonna do this. So he has to go infinite off this turn, which is possible. Chemister's Insight is a very good way of going infinite, so he had the best card he could potentially have in the game right there for him. Alright, so he still has massive amount of lands and massive amount of cards. He could go infinite, for sure. He has to get a little bit lucky, but not nearly as much as, you know, top decking that Chemister's Insight. Okay, still don't understand why he keeps bouncing back those instead of my creatures. There's the Nexus. Alright, good job, man. Good job. Growth Spiral. So look at all that card draw. That's how you go infinite. You draw 1 Chemister's Insight with the Wilderness Reclamation. It's insane. So he got lucky, insanely lucky, and then he didn't get lucky. So that's all it takes. Seasons of Growth, or Season of Growth, seems really good here. I don't think Deafening Clarion's the way at all. It's... Sure, we'll make this work. Alright, Sorcerous Spyglass, that's interesting. I have quite a few options though here. Search for Escanta. What's the play though, real quick? Check him out with a Spyglass. I can't get in yet to start pushing real damage. I think I Spyglass. Narset. Alright, so that was a good little one to have. Brazen can bounce me back for sure, but then he blows his whole turn. I am one white off of Merriment too. But he can bounce that back too. And obviously he did not do that. Okay. So this is kind of a big enchantment that he won't want me to have. He'll probably bounce that. He could also Narset this turn if he has a land. Narset's pretty important for him. He knows that I didn't draw a land there. He might just bounce my Lana War back, honestly. Oh. So if I put Merriment down, it's getting bounced. No matter what I play, honestly, it's getting bounced. But I do need to bait it out, so this way I can at least attack for one, right? Ooh, nice, and I get to Scry. Those are good, but I already have one. I need a land. So let's tick up one for him and give him lifelink. Oh yeah, the gains are real here. You gonna bounce, Brazen? I think he's got to be scared and respect the damage. He has this hate boner for Sorcerous Spyglass. I don't get it. I really don't. He must have like tons of root snares that I'm not seeing.
I train everything. I have just the trick for this.
Okay. Alright. Well, this is our value engine. Kill him, kill him. Wait. Oh, shoot. Whatever. I haven't played Getting in years. Indestructible, sure, whatever. So now I could target anything and kill it, basically, including the search for Escanta. If he gets a Wilderness Reclamation down, whatever. And I'm gonna start getting value of damage out of the Merriment. He of course has bounces and such, but alright, he's going deep. He knows he needs something. He's at 3 in the grave. Hey, there's a land. We need lands. Oh, so now he's looking for Root Snare. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh. So let's remember to do this.
I will lend you my strength.
Lethal next turn. And we're going to save Bone Crusher for that. Let's Spyglass to check out what he's got. We got a Root Snare, not afraid. We got a Tamio, might as well call her. So he won't be able to flip this no matter what. And I don't think he realizes the stomp. So this is looking GG-ish. Ooh, that's scary though. He could maybe go infinite off that. Comes down to this final turn then. 3, 4, 5. No, he doesn't have the land. He doesn't have enough. He's one off. Look at that. One off. What a shame. What a doggone shame. What a doggone shame. He could have drew a counter there. Counter would mess me up good. Alright. He's got a root snare. You ready? Boom.